This is a stunning opening trap. You can play with white and you can crush your opponent very easily with molar attack in Italian game. So you would have seen these moves plenty of times. Now we have to push c3, which invites this knight to develop. Striking in the center with d4 pawn capture, and now we deliver a check. Obviously this check we have to block with the knight and we allow this knight to capture the pawn in the center. Now there is a pressure along this knight, but we just castle here. And here there are many moves possible. You can also capture with the knight, which looks very appealing. Obviously this is a good move because after this bishop takes, which attacks the rook, but we don't have to worry about this and we can go for very wonderful knight move which attacks the pawn. Obviously the best move here is to push the pawn and attacks this bishop, but in many cases this castling has also been played, but now you see this queen maneuver threatening checkmate and there is no escape route. So after this the pawn push will have to be played, and after this knight capture black need to capture with the rook, otherwise this is a checkmate. I will just show you. You capture this rook and this would be a blunder because knight check, this is a double check and the king should move. Once the king moves we can deliver another double check, and once the king moves we can deliver this wonderful checkmate that appears. Okay, but after this, okay, rook capture can also be played. We have the queen capture, and once the king moves we have a very stunning move with this bishop sacrifice, and once the queen captures takes place this would be just mate in one. So obviously this is not possible, so you would have to go for this this pawn capture, and now we deliver this wonderful checkmate along this bishop because this bishop slices this diagonal. So obviously this is not possible, and now you need to play the knight back. Okay, the b5, any move just loses because after this we can just take with the bishop, and now the queen is trapped. Queen has no escaping route, and wherever you place the queen this is a checkmate. So obviously that is losing. In this line this would be very tricky to play, but what happens after this when we play the knight move, black finds the absolute best move, then we can just sacrifice the knight like the fried liver attack. After this king captures takes place you can deliver a check, and once the king goes back or king e6 you can also play, you can play any of the move, and after this queen capture pawn capture we don't have to recapture this pawn. Obviously we first deliver a check, and once the king move to any of the square we can just deliver a check, and this game is still equal, and white is just attacking like a maniac because you will see that the king is stuck and we have enough compensation for the sacrificed piece, and in some cases this king back can also be played, but you deliver a check, and now this queen is already lost after this bishop takes. Yeah, that would be winning. Or if black finds the absolute best move after this rook check king move, after this check we need to play this move, still the game is equal. We can just play anything, bring both the rooks in the center, and this would be quite good. Now let's see the other line. After this knight capture, this pawn capture can also take place, but before recapturing this pawn, okay, you can obviously capture this. After this knight capture, if black does, this is a trap because queen just fox this knight and the king, obviously you are winning. So this is not possible, but before recapturing this bishop we have a wonderful stuff. We have the pawn push, and this game was played once by true grandmasters. So let's see. After this knight moves, okay, this knight moves here, attacks the bishop, but now there is a time to capture this bishop. So okay, knight capture, and we play the queen move, threatening so many. Both the knights are hanging, and we also threaten the pawn. So also the knight goes back obviously, and we allow this queen capture the pawn, and from the black side there is only one move. We just play the queen move, and which offers the queen trade. Obviously we have to go for the queen trade, and after this knight takes we deliver a check with the rook. And the only move that is good for black is to block with this knight, or you play with other knight block. This would be good, but if black spots this king move, which is totally lost position for black, I will show you with the bishop check, and once the king moves to only square available, we have the rook lift, which is quite annoying because if you play any of the move, this would be a checkmate along this bishop and the rook, threatening checkmate. So obviously this would be losing. So now black needs to find this knight maneuver after we just lift the rook, because knight maneuver prevents any of this rook jump here. But now, okay, I can discuss this knight maneuver, other knight move. This would be mistake because we can just play the knight back, and now the problem is that we are just threatening to capture this knight, because if you just capture this, this would be a checkmate in one. So obviously moving the other knight would be good. So let's see, you might expect this pawn push attacking the rook also at this point of time, but now you have this knight captures, which attacks the knight and also sacrifices the rook. So after this pawn capture, we can deliver this wonderful checkmate. So that is why this knight here cannot be played, and we need to play after this other knight so that the pawn push can take place after move. So obviously Engine is suggesting this is equal, but this is not. Engine cannot find the absolute best move after this because there is a bug in this chess.com. So after this rook move, we just attack this knight multiple times, and now we need to push the pawn because this is the absolute best move. Otherwise king is getting checkmated. Let me show you if you play any other move. This rook sacrifice is already working because this cannot be played because of this checkmate in one. So obviously now we need to find the pawn push, but we have the very standard rook lift again. And absolute best move suggested by the Engine is to push this pawn, or we play any of the moves. This is losing because of this knight maneuver. Okay, bishop move, and now there is no checkmate, but we have the rook check, king move, and now we capture the pawn. Obviously if you don't want to lose the rook, black need to play this move, and now we deliver another check, and after this move we have the knight check, and we pick up the rook for free. And after this pickup, we are simply winning a lot of material because the pawn push is also coming, and we are absolutely winning in this position. So how was the trap? And I'll see you soon in my next video. Till then, if you want to learn chess from me, you can just message me on my WhatsApp. The face is quite low, and you will reach, definitely with your hard work, you can reach 2000 rating on chess.com in just 8 months. So I'll see you soon in my next video. And if you are worried about my rating is more than 2100 on chess.com. So see you soon.